Any problem while joining with the given link? Because I'm trying for the first time by using my mobile phone. We will wait for a few more minutes, 3-4 more minutes, and then we will start. Okay, so we will start. I'll share my screen. Okay, so we have already started with our second unit last time. So in our Thursday's lecture, we have started with second unit, that is methods of testing, and in this, excuse me, we have seen the introductory part, the syllabus, the details about title of the chapter, about central idea of the chapter, importance, and chapter outcomes. Then we have seen the software verification and validation, its difference, what are the different activities that are being carried out in verification and validation. Then we have seen in detail the difference between black box and white box testing. Then testing, its types, that is dynamic testing and static testing. Under dynamic testing, we have seen the functional, non-functional, and in case of static, we have seen the reviews. Then again, we have seen the difference between static testing and dynamic testing in detail. So just go through this point once again after the lecture, because the question like what is the difference between verification and validation, static and dynamic testing, and black box, white box testing, this type of questions may be asked in your interview process. So just go thoroughly with these points. Then in case of black box testing technique, we have seen the equivalence partitioning. That means what is the technique used for partitioning the given data, so that each and every part of the data that can be touched while testing your software. So we have seen two examples for this, that is testing the field which accepts the age between 18 and 56. Please mute your mic, all the participants. So this example, we have seen the three cases under this. What is the invalid data and what is the valid data? Please mute all of you. And second is test a field which accepts the mobile number. So as we know, mobile number is of 10 digits. So accordingly, we are having the cases, that is invalid and valid data. So if it is giving 10-digit number, we can accept the input, or else it will not be accepted. So this is the case under equivalence partitioning. Then under data testing, how to check the data, exactly the data, that is data is what, that is the data entered through your keyboard inputs or mouse clicks, or if any kind of a disk files you are using, like suppose you are using some imagery data, you are giving one image as an input. So how to check that particular data? Then again, printouts, that means suppose that printout data, you are using it in a scan form or so. So that data, how you are going to check? So examples related to that we have seen in the last lecture. Then again, boundary condition, sub boundary condition, what is exactly the default, empty, blank, null, and zero kind of a cases over there. Then invalid, wrong, or incorrect, garbage data, that also we have seen. And under the black box testing techniques, we have seen the state testing testing the software logic flow, creating the state transition map. So how to create this kind of a maps? Transition map. Transition means from one state to another, you are going to change the state. So how it can be possible? How the rectangle and arrows, that kind of a structure is used, or bubble and arrow, this kind of a structure is used. That is um, we have seen in the last lecture. So related to this state transition diagram, we have seen the example of say banking website. So in any of the banking website, you are having 3 attempts. If the first attempt gets passed, you will be diverted to your home page. Otherwise, if the first attempt is failed, you will be given chance for the second attempt. If the second attempt gets passed, then you will be diverted to home page. Otherwise, if it is fail, go to the third attempt. If the third attempt is passed, you will be diverted to home page. Otherwise, if it is fail, your account will be locked. Okay, so in that way, suppose your account is locked, then you have to enter the information or go to the customer care or your nearest branch of that particular bank, or you have to set like whatever we do in case of IndusInd Bank. So that is um, entering the data which is present on your debit card, entering the PIN, then again that valid through that date and all those things which is present on our debit card. So this is one way. SBI is giving you the locking period of 24 hours. Also, it is giving you the message if anybody tries to um, access your account. Okay, so you are done with or you are remaining with 2 attempts, you are remaining with 1 attempt, you don't have attempt, and your account is locked, that kind of a SMS will be given to you. So this is the state transition diagram for banking website login. Okay, so so this is state testing, and under that again reducing the number of states and transitions um, to the tests, what to specify under the test, testing the states to fail, rare condition and bad timing, then repetition or stress or load, that kind of a testing, and in just introductory form. In the next chapter, we are going to see what is exactly the stress testing, load testing, etc. So in the next unit, we will be going through each and every type of the testing in detail. Okay, so this is, yeah, and one more bit we have seen, that is other black box testing technique. So what are the other different ways present for going through the black box testing? So first is behave like a dumb user. You are not aware of anything about that particular software and you are trying to use it. So how will you use it? So it is like behaving like a dumb user. You are not aware of anything about that software. Okay, so in that way you are going to click anywhere, you are going to input any kind of a data in the fields, that way it will be working. Then again, second is look for the bugs where you have already found them. Means suppose one of the module is having, say for example 2 3 bugs over there. So try to like move around the bush or running around the bush and try to find that if any another module, so it's a relation, or if that particular module is giving output to some other module, so try to find that some thought, all things you have to check properly so that you can get idea about that module, and you will have many bugs. Try to then think like a hacker. Means what? He suppose you are trying to stole that particular data. Suppose one of or very it will be hampering the security, right? So think like a hacker and try to follow the experience. Like say converted to another pages, isn't it? So in that page, if you are finding many bugs like maybe logo expect or so, it is not taking the data properly. So these are the experiences, and experiences definitely come experience, whatever the experience that you will be. Okay, so up to this point we have seen in our last lecture. So today we are going to see the white box testing technique. Lecture. So black box in the program for that particular software also. Okay, but here in case of white box testing, you will or code properly, and the access to the code definitely at which particular line of code you are getting the error. So you will be concentrating on that part of the program itself. Okay, what are the other advantages in that case? Yes, any idea? Yes, what are the other advantages? Just a minute, I will end the show. Something is. What are the advantages of it's becoming a little bit hard to work on mobile, but that's okay, no problem. Okay, so you are having access to the code. Okay, so that is the biggest advantage. Then what about the disadvantages in this? So if we see towards the system, then disadvantage will be if you are unaware of the language that is being used for the programming, then it is of no use. So suppose you are from Java background, okay, and your project is of say for example, we will take it is based on Python, okay, but that Python person has left the company and you are appointed on his position, okay, but you are a Java person, you are not aware about the syntax that is being used in case of Python, and you are given the code and told that on 100th line or 100th function it is giving some kind of a error, so try to resolve it. Okay, so will you be able to in the said period? It will be difficult for you, okay, because you are not having any kind of a knowledge about it, and to get that knowledge definitely it will much more time, isn't it? So these are the disadvantages under white box testing technique. So what is more important is examining the program logic or code in case of white box testing, so that you will be getting aware of what is exactly the misbehavior in your system. Then it is also having the testing techniques like data coverage, in that the data flow, sub-boundaries, formulas and equation, and error. So data freeze, DFD, those diagrams, are they given to the black box testing, black box testers? No, not at all. If you are working in the software testing company, you will not be given any kind of a DFDs, but they are present with the person who is there from the development team. Okay, why so? So because like data flow, whatever the input data is there, how it is going to different modules, or how the value gets changed after going through one particular function or so. So that kind of a flow of the input data that you have to check properly. Then sub boundaries, sorry, sub boundaries, that means whatever the boundary values are there, like in case of age we have seen, so you have to enter the data from 18 16 to 18 to 56 something. Okay, so what you have done in that case, so you are concentrating on the boundary values, isn't it? So how to check those boundary values? That particular coverage will come under the data coverage. Then definitely the formulas and equations. Suppose your program is using some kind of a formulas or equations, So what is the input value? What is the output value? If the input value is given in the said range, what will be the output? If it is not given in proper format, some vague data you have entered, then what will be the output? Okay, so that kind of values you have to check. Then again, error forcing. So error forcing, say like you are having the mobile phone number field, and as we know, the mobile number is taking the input value of 10 digits, isn't it? So it is whether it is working properly with those 10 digits. If you enter the 9 digits or 8 digits or 11 digits, 12 digits, what will be the error? If it is been given on the screen properly in a user readable words or so, so that will be checked under this. So this is the data coverage field under white box testing technique. Then coming to the program statement and line coverage. Okay, so program statement and line coverage, what does it mean? Ki each and every line, so suppose you are having some say 50 number of lines of code, so whether you will be able to go to each and every line in the program or not, so that will be checked. So here in this particular code snippet, in this particular example, what will be the output? So each and every line will be touched over here. So hello, welcome to Sweri. All these 3 lines will be printed on the screen. So all these 3 lines will be checked. That means each and every statement of the program, statement of the program will be touched. Okay, so that we are going to cover here. Statement coverage and line coverage. We'll take one more example here. Branch coverage is there. So suppose if your program is having the branching. So what is branching? So if the condition becomes true, go to this branch. Otherwise, if it is false, go to another side of the branch. So this kind of a flow diagram we have seen. So here is one example given for the same. So print hello. Okay. So if year is exactly equal to 2021, then print happy new year, and then welcome to Sweri. Okay. So what will be the output in this case? So as we know, year is 2021. That means after hello, happy new year will be printed, and then after welcome to Sweri. So whether this particular branch or this particular if loop, whether it is getting executed or not, that we are going to check under this particular technique, that is branch coverage. Getting? If the year is not 2021, if it is 2020 or 2022, so that particular statement, that is happy new year, will not be printed on your screen. Okay, so whether all these things are getting properly executed or not, that we are going to check. So suppose, for example, if any of the developer has put the semicolon after that if statement and opening closing braces are there, and after that he has put the semicolon over there. Okay, then what will be the output? So in that case, if no matter whether the year is 2020, okay, that means the condition is becoming false, still the happy new year statement will be printed on the screen because you have kept the semicolon after that if statement. Okay, so in that way you have to check each and every condition, each and every branch present in your code. Okay, so this is the branch coverage, and after that we are having condition coverage. So condition coverage is what? Suppose one or more conditions are given in the program. So that means which particular combination you are using, according to that you will be executing the code. So here in this case, print hello, and then if you are checking whether the year is 2021 and date exactly equal to 12, so for today both the conditions are true. As already it is 12th of October, so for today the both the cases are true, and also the uh, ending is used, logical and is used. So if both the conditions are true, you are getting the result as a true. If one condition is true, suppose today's date is 10, suppose, okay, so year is satisfied, that is true. So true and date is 10, so it is false. So true and false is false. Again, vice versa, if year is not 2020, true, sorry, false. And if both the conditions are false, so false, 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 and false is false. Not this kind of operator things or not, that we are going to check over here. So for this condition, if we consider today's date, a happy new year, welcome to. For the numbers that are there in your code, you should be in the position to touch each and the concept. Any doubt? So any doubt in this? So this much part was remained in the last lecture for white box testing and its techniques. Any problem? Huh. So I think you are not having any kind of a doubts. Only one or two responses I am getting every time. So this should not be the scenario. You should be talkative. You should be familiar. As actually many of the students are unaware of we people, I guess. So it is difficult. Whoever person is talking to you. Yes. Sonia, you want to share anything? So that's why it may be the problem, but you should be responsive properly. And this is not the case in case of lectures only, but everywhere in your um, campus related training or so, there also you should be responsive. Okay, so here we are ending with our second unit also. First unit, that test we already have covered. So I will put some questionnaires, theoretical questionnaires related to our first unit. Okay. And some question related to second topic also in the second tutorial. We will get some idea related to different types of testing in the third unit, and then after I will side by side I will start with some demonstration of our testing tool, that is Selenium. Hope you have heard it from your friends also. Many of your friends may be working under in software testing, and they might be uh, using that particular tool, Selenium also. Okay, so try to I will, from my end also, I will try to give you some idea related to the tool. From other sources also you will be getting the idea. Okay, so you're not having any kind of a doubt, isn't it? Mm, okay then, so we will stop over here. Just 2-3 bits we were remaining for the second unit, and I will try to post the questionnaires for tutorial by today evening. So um, write the answers for the same on the paper, scan it, and then I will give the link for the same where you have to upload them. Okay, I will not give any more burden to you. Just 3-4 most important questions, very IMP questions, I will give them to you. Okay, so we will stop here. Just put your attendance in the chat window, and then you can leave, because you will be having next session at 1:15, I guess. Thank you very much.